Who else is excited about Feb Regency 2026? As I'm recording this, that's starting officially tomorrow. And I discovered Feb Regency a couple of years ago, probably about halfway into that February. And how much fun was that? So I've got some fun plans for Feb Regency this year. Some things I've wanted to do on this channel for a bit, but sometimes you get ideas and you don't really follow through. That Feb Regency is a perfect time to do them. So I'd share quickly just some of my ideas, and some of my ideas could change. I felt I'm just getting ideas about the possibilities of what I could do all the time. And one of the biggest things I'm doing is I am doing what I'm calling video books. So did you know that a lot of books and pamphlets and periodicals from the Regency era, both the short Regency, the actual Regency from 1811 to 1820, to the long Regency, where basically the Prince Regent acted as regent before he was officially called regent, all the way up until the time of Queen Victoria's reign, that books from this era are actually available scanned online. A lot of them at the what we call the Internet Archive at Distributed Proofreaders, which is just archive.org, and as well as HathiTrust and a few other academic places who either scanned these books themselves, had Google scan them. And so these texts are actually available. If you want to go and read Jane Austen's book the way that her readers would have seen it, Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, you can actually go and find those first editions or beautiful illustrated editions of these books at these places. And I always thought it would be fun to actually do what I'm calling a video book, where basically I narrate, or I've also gotten the LibriVox public domain books recordings for 2 novels. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to play these soundtracks and flip through these original first editions so you could actually see the books as the readers back in 1796 and 1811 saw them. Yes, specific years. I thought it would be fun to start this concept first with a book that was the very close to the start of the long Regency. I couldn't find one that was at LibriVox that was 1795 because that's the start of the long Regency, but I found one from 1796, and that would be Camilla by Fanny Burney. And the other one I thought, well, like the grand dame of Regency books is, of course, Jane Austen. And it just so happens her first book was published in 1811, the start of the official Regency. And so I'm making these, essentially flip through these first editions of these books. And so you could just listen, or if you want to see what the actual readers who bought these books or got them from their circulating library, you want to see what those books look like, you can actually follow along and read as well. And I'm actually going to do some reading of some myself. I've already got 2 of them done. I've read some of these books too, and there's some really interesting nonfiction in 1795. You can actually go to the Internet Archive, again, archive.org, and you can, with an advanced search, type in, like, you want a specific year. So I went and I did that for 1795. And it was actually really kind of just interesting to see the different topics of books at that time. Not a lot of fiction, proper fiction like novels. There's some, like I said, there's quite a bit of, like, say, children's chapbooks where they're trying to instruct children how to be properly moral and upright, upstanding citizens. And one of those books I've already got prepared. And basically you can really see how it's a snapshot of the world. If you just look at what those titles are, you could see that in England they were traveling in different parts of the world, and imagine what travel was like in 1795. And they were also translating books from contemporary times, near contemporary times, ancient times. You can definitely get a sense of an explosion of thought, of just like external influences. It wasn't just this little tiny island nation who was starting to exert its power. It was actually reaching out for ideas as well. And so I plan to read these ones, and it's actually a bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be. And so we'll see how many I get done when I get them posted. I've got 2 finished already. And they're just really interesting slices of life. I mean, imagine what was happening in 1795. We're after the peak of the French Revolution. We haven't yet had the War of 1812 in America. That's quite a long ways off, but there is definitely political unrest, and things are still really churning in France. In fact, several of the different nonfiction ones, they are specifically looking at what's going on in France and concerns about that. And what's interesting is definitely pamphlets and little magazines, little periodicals were huge in 1795. And it's kind of funny. Sometimes you see what would be like the equivalent of like a social media war, if like a two politicians disagreed with each other, right? They didn't duel, right? Like some of the lesser known people would have done, but they could have a war of words and put out their pamphlets and so's response to somebody else. And so interesting stuff, fun stuff. We'll see what we'll get to. For the ones that I'm reading, and actually for the ones that I'm doing that are from the LibriVox recordings, I'm choosing to keep everything close to 20 minutes long, plus or minus, right around there. Some of the things you could go much longer, like Camilla by Fanny Burney. The entire audiobook collection, or the audio file collection, is like 40 minutes. It's like, 40 minutes, 40 hours. That's a long time. And so, yeah, these could have been really long, but for Feb Regency, I thought, well, we'll just do tastes. We'll just do bits. And so I won't be getting through all of Fanny Burney's book during Feb Regency, but for that, I will continue on and with Sense and Sensibility, which is what I'm doing for Miss Jane Austen, and for the start of the proper Regency. I will continue both of those ones with the LibriVox after Feb Regency. And what I'm doing for the other ones, the nonfiction and the very rare fiction that I'm finding in these early days of the long Regency, is I'm just doing them for like 20-ish minutes. And I thought I would let the YouTube public decide. Hey, you want to hear more of this chapbook? You want to hear more of these different pamphlets? You want to hear more? There's at least one other novel that I'm going to do probably a chapter or two of that I'll be reading myself. Let me know. You want me to continue them? I'll continue them. Anyway, so I'm so excited about what this is going to be. I have a few other ideas perking. I'm not quite sure what I'll have time to do here in this Feb Regency 2026, but I'm looking forward to taking some of my different ideas out for a spin, and I'm really excited to see if these videos are found, if you enjoy them, and if you want me to do more, if you want to see other things, let me know in the comments. Excited to share Feb Regency 2026 with you all.